They were just hanging out in your child's room with the door closed, in the bed, half dressed.
Chick that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another male. They say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith's public collapse didn't come out of nowhere. It built up slowly over years of pressure, uncomfortable questions, and industry connections that were ignored for far too long. People brushed things aside until federal attention forced old stories back into focus. The streets started buzzing louder when Diddy began facing serious legal pressure and Gene Deal started revisiting past situations that suddenly looked different with hindsight. Moments that once felt random began lining up, and people started connecting dots they had overlooked before. There are claims circulating online, not confirmed facts, suggesting that authorities are reviewing past associations tied to Diddy's broader legal troubles. These discussions include figures connected to him through social and industry circles, including Will and Jada. No charges have been announced, but the scrutiny alone has reopened long-running conversations. One story gaining traction involves Jennifer Lopez. The claim is that during her relationship with Diddy, he believed Will and Jada were crossing personal boundaries, creating tension serious enough that he worried things could escalate.
We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and it was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, like that. I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him." I said to myself, Will Smith gonna beat the shit out you. Now, Puff could scrap now, but I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? But he could scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that shit. So I didn't go back over there where Will Smith's sister and her husband was. I stayed about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in. Yeah, but that shit was funny. He thought that Jada and Will was coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advances.
That story fed into wider discussions about Will and Jada's unconventional marriage. Jada later confirmed that their relationship was far from traditional, revealing in her book that she and Will had quietly separated back in 2016, years before the public realized anything was wrong.
So many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Will later explained that neither of them believed it was their responsibility to make the other person happy. In his words, each person was in charge of their own fulfillment first, and only then would they come together from that place. He made it clear that divorce was never the goal. Instead, they agreed to stay together and work through whatever came up, no matter how uncomfortable things became. In interviews connected to his memoir and a GQ cover story, Will admitted that both he and Jada explored other relationships during different periods of their marriage. Because of that openness, public speculation exploded. Some people began pushing extreme theories about their private life, framing their choices in exaggerated and unproven ways that go far beyond anything either of them has ever confirmed. These claims remain rumors, not facts, and there is no evidence backing them. The discussion around this will be addressed later in the video. What the public already knew was Jada's relationship with singer August Alsina, which she openly discussed on Red Table Talk in 2020.
Situation that I considered private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. Yeah. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
The show became known for its raw conversations, but it also sparked debate later when another topic came up involving Jaden Smith. Jada shared that she had introduced him to alternative mental health approaches years earlier while dealing with her own depression. Jaden explained that his interest led him to research plant-based methods. The therapies being discussed were described as alternative approaches that some people believe can help with emotional healing. In online conversations, critics have interpreted these plant-based discussions in extreme ways. But no evidence shows that anyone was encouraged into harmful behavior, and those claims remain disputed.
Introduced to plant medicine 10 years ago to deal with my depression, and it knocked it out.
Something Jada says she can speak to from personal experience.
What it does, unlike just going to therapy and putting people on Prozac, right? Which I did that too.
Which that is not successful for so many people.
And that's the thing. So for me, I had struggled with depression for so long. You know, I mean, crippling depression. So the thing about the plant medicine is that not only does it help you feel better, but it helps you solve the problems of how you got there in the first place.
It was always in my head talking, telling me what I was and what I wasn't. And for the first time, I had like a ego dissolution where I was like, that was the moment that really changed me. You get to a place in your life where you're blocked by something, whether it's a trauma, whether it's your emotions, your ego, not being able to express yourself. And then I feel like psychedelics are a way to tear down that wall and see what's beyond it. Doing it guided with people that are professionals, I feel like really increases the chances of having that mystical experience.
It has also been widely reported that Jaden Smith no longer lives at his parents' home and has taken steps toward independence as an adult. That decision alone sparked heavy speculation online, with many people asking why a young person from such a powerful family would want distance.
Yes. What are you saving for?
I'm gonna buy my parents' house.
You're gonna buy your parents' house from them?
From them, yes.
Okay. Will they then stay there with you?
No, I'm gonna give them a little apartment.
Will that be like in the backyard, or where will the apartment?
Some commentators, including Jaguar Wright, have made serious allegations about the Smith family. These claims are unproven, have not been supported by legal findings, and remain allegations only. No charges or verified evidence have ever confirmed those accusations, despite how widely they circulate online.
There's a there's a distance in terms of affection shown between the general and his son.
Absolutely.
Is it like that at home or no?
Nah, not really.
We're very affectionate.
But have you ever
He tried to kiss me in the
have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking to kiss
Can you
my
kiss your
son.
on Thai TV?
I can kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Are you okay?
Beyond their immediate family, accusations have also surfaced from former associates who describe uncomfortable personal dynamics inside the household.
Stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada will watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm gonna let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do, period. And I got to have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on.
These statements are claims, not established facts, and have never been upheld in court. Tensions escalated further when Bilal, a former associate, publicly challenged Jada. He claimed he urged her to pursue legal action and suggested that he held information that could become public. When no lawsuit followed, Bilal later filed legal action of his own after leaving the United States.
You aired that last interview of me tearing Jada to pieces.
That was insane.
Yes.
I felt uncomfortable because I was like, I don't know what this beef is.
Yeah. Well,
You called her a dope fiend.
Yeah, I called her bald-headed dope fiend, without question. I told her she better sue me because
she said to TMZ when they asked her when she left the Breakfast Club.
Yes.
She looked. They was like, well, what do you got to say? And she was like, we're suing, and I was just like, okay.
Right.
That's been about 2 years.
Yeah,
and we haven't gotten a lawsuit yet.
No.
Yeah, the only person we got sued by during that year was Kevin Hart.
And I was involved with that, which was crazy.
And that lawsuit is nowhere to be found.
Right, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely,
right. So,
absolutely, with no merit. So what's crazy is that Jada did the Breakfast Club, just for people who don't know or want to go back and see it, because it's been 2 years since I've been seen or heard of or anything.
Yeah.
Jada responded to your first global, the first global interview that I did with you.
That was a global interview.
Yes, it went all over the world.
It was in Arabic, I saw it.
Yeah, it's India, everywhere. So I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to be, to show that it was true. So from that, that's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out, right? So now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy. Her lawyer sends me a cease and desist letter, which I had to report him to the bar.
He went further by alleging that troubling family dynamics may have contributed to Jaden Smith's decision to seek legal independence from his parents at a relatively young age.
After that, there was, they reached out to me through many people, one being Charles Austin, AKA Charlie Mack, the federal informant. And he reached out to me through a friend, right? One of my best friends.
Charlie Mack, is that the one that I believe, and I want to say allegedly, okay? Mm-hmm. Everything's alleged, even my name's alleged. It was alleged that he had touched Jaden, Will Smith's Charlie Mack, his best friend?
Yeah, that's been alleged, yes. Yes, that has been alleged, that he's I can't say that word on here. PDF file, let's say this.
Okay, and that's the reason why Jaden wanted to be emancipated, allegedly from his parents.
These claims have never been proven, but they continue to circulate as part of a wider online narrative. According to him, ongoing legal matters involving Will and Jada limited what he could say publicly, though he suggested that written accounts could eventually reveal more. Most controversially, he claimed that Jada attempted to silence him after he spoke out, describing the situation in a way that critics say resembled tactics allegedly used by other powerful figures in the industry. Now that Diddy is facing serious legal consequences, public attention has widened.
Fernando, that would drive me around, in Colombia, everything's cheap. So he'd drive me around, run errands, do everything that I need to do. Kind of like an assistant, right? So we're pulling up to my apartment in Colombia. And when I pull up to my apartment in Colombia, there are a bunch of guys with two guys with black pants and white shirt, Scientologist outfits, right? Not saying they're Scientologists, who knows, right? And then there was another guy who I found out to be a private investigator, and they were by my house. So I told him to drive past, right? So he drove past, he parked. And I'm like, damn, why they in front of my house? But the crazy thing before that, somebody sent a picture of the front of my door in my apartment and texted to me from a number, right? With nothing. So I put two to two together. I'm like, damn, they might be out to get me, right? So we're driving one afternoon. And while we're driving through that afternoon, a car pulled up with a guy with a mask on, right? And tries to run my boy off the road. So he's trying to not, because in Colombia, you have a lot of freeway parts, but you also have a part like there's no barriers. So you could, somebody make a wrong turn, you down there.
Because it's mountainous.
Yeah, so the car is, so my assistant trying to hitting the other car so we don't go on a barrier. So the guy put the gas on, boom, right? One of the people that I saw, even with the mask, I'm able to see it was one of the people that was at my apartment. So we rolled down the embankment, right? Glass breaking, everything. Like I could hear oh man, it was bad, right? So by the time I get myself together, I look over, my man got a big piece of glass like this stuck in his head, right? It's about this long, because the windshield broke when we was tumbling down. So finally the police came, the ambulance came, they took me to the doctor. So now my back is messed up, I gotta have black surgery, and then my knee. I have to have knee surgery.
People are no longer focused solely on him, but also on those who maintained close relationships with him over the years, and Jada Pinkett Smith's name continues to surface in those discussions. Gene Deal has claimed that this scrutiny exists because Will and Jada could appear in recordings allegedly made by Diddy at private events.
Shopped around a Diddy and another male. They say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy, that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black, that Rat Pack, and I don't want to even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there of other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy.
He emphasized that the Smiths were not distant acquaintances, but longtime participants in the same elite circles. According to multiple insiders, these circles included exclusive parties and closed-door industry spaces where behavior rarely reached public view. Gene also suggested that the individuals involved were not limited to one community, noting that Diddy's connections extended deeply into high-level Hollywood beyond hip-hop.
Do you believe the guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber.
The fact that figures like Justin Bieber, Will Smith, and Sean Combs cross paths in private industry spaces has only added to public concern. This is where Jaguar Wright's allegations take a sharper turn. She has long argued that Jada's influence over Will didn't exist in isolation. According to her, Jada was embedded in the same power structures that surrounded Diddy, where behavior that would shock everyday families was treated as normal behind closed doors. When Jaguar discussed the Chris Rock incident, she claimed Will didn't initially react emotionally. She said he laughed along like others in the room and that the shift came only after Jada's visible response. Throughout her commentary, Jaguar returns to one central idea. In elite circles, the rules are different. Powerful figures are protected, boundaries blur, and conduct that would raise alarms elsewhere is reframed as personal growth or self-expression. She also claims the impact extends beyond the Smith household. According to her, Will has never fully addressed concerns involving younger people who were once under his influence or guidance.
No, something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that bad joke that Chris said like everybody else. And then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate.
Not the Manchurian. Not the Manchurian. God damn it.
That's what the happened.
I thought there's a legion of women who said, I'm glad for Will fighting for his woman.
Yeah, because they still want to believe that that sham of a marriage is real.
Oh. Well, there you go.
He ain't never gonna be Tupac, and she proved it when she August Alsina.
Jaguar then points to what she calls a pattern, noting that several young men connected to Will appeared to undergo drastic personality changes over time. She points to moments caught on camera, sudden public conflicts, emotional volatility, and behavior she describes as erratic. In her view, these are not random incidents, but signs of unresolved trauma. What concerns her most about Briar Gray is her belief that he is still seeking validation from the same system that she claims caused him harm. Jaguar says she personally tried to step in, urging distance from what she viewed as dangerous influences and pushing for safer paths forward. According to her, those efforts were blocked by people who prioritized image, control, and money over long-term well-being. Throughout her account, she returns to one core conclusion. This did not happen by accident. In her telling, Sean Combs was not acting alone. She describes a wider network that included facilitators, executives, mentors, and celebrity families who she claims ignored warning signs and normalized harmful environments.
Then there was the moment on social media. She was 13 with a 22-year-old man in her bed.
Saw that.
It's no big deal. We were just hanging, they were just hanging out. I got 3 questions to ask about that.
1.
1322, appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
Alone, appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
In your child's room, appropriate or inappropriate?
Definitely inappropriate.
Part B to that. In your child's room with the door closed, in the bed, half dressed.
Grab the shotgun.
On social media.
Hell no.
Who took that picture? That's
Who did?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
We cutting off our hair.
Red flags.
We laid up with old niggas.
Yeah.
That's an old
Yeah.
When she was born, he was probably already trying to rub one out at the park.
Oh, man.
Think about the difference in that.
The imagery.
She's 13.
Okay.
She might have a period. Might. Breasts not fully formed. Pubescent. Hair not grown all the way in.
Man.
And this thing go to a bar and buy a beer and get a drunk in the backseat of his car.
and leave her out there with $20 and say, hope you make it home. Like,
The imagery.
just that could be his Saturday night in LA.
So
And he's up in your daughter bed
yeah,
with his shirt off and shit, frolicking
you call it art.
on social, frolicking on social media. I mean,
So
somebody should have kicked the door in and beat that fucking ass.
From Jaguar's perspective, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith were not outsiders. She believes they were trusted insiders in those circles.
As far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last year?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he missing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Liles? The thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray, I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're gonna keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another. Not now, not now. Just next year's gonna be your time. You know, you need to get yourself out there. You need to.
Jack, I have a question. So we speak about, you dealing with the Illuminati and having tides and things like that and denouncing it. Can you tell me
outrage?
One of the things that they promised you that would
And now
happen?
they're watching him become a fallen one, like a comet speeding. How long before he decides it's time to cash out now? How long? Because the one thing I will say is this. Anything happens to that young man, it better not nobody say a word to me. For years, I've been yelling. Salute to Moran Morelli. He actually talked about it the other day. Talked about how troubling. And, the one reason that I can appreciate Murad's commentary is because he's also an essay survivor. So he's a young man who went through these things. He knows what the signs look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and they fuck And she let Charlie tune that boy up on coke, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a person so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bashir conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was book.
Now that Diddy's alleged actions are under intense scrutiny, Jaguar says the focus is finally widening to include those who enabled access and stayed silent. Do you think figures like Briar Gray and Jaden Smith will ever see accountability? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, share this video, and we'll see you in the next one.